Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a little bit different from me. It's not something I normally share, but I do feel like it is really important, and so here I am. This is a very difficult video for me to make. I'm feeling very vulnerable, so please bear with me. But if you're interested to hear what I've got to say, then just continue to watch. So hi guys, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Juliette. I do new videos on this channel every week. I normally do lots of like beauty, fashion, lifestyle, DIY, hauls, you name it. That's the kind of thing I do. And if you're one of my long-term subscribers, thank you so much for sticking around. And if you are new here, welcome. As if you are a long-term subscriber, you will know that this video is very, very different. And if you've watched some of my vlogs recently, you may have picked up that you may know what this video is going to be about. So this week I was diagnosed with melanoma, which is a form of skin cancer. And I wanted to make this video to share my story with you and also to raise awareness, share the process of how I got there, share how I'm feeling. If this video gets one person to check their body and check their moles, or feel less alone, or save a life, then it is worth the vulnerability. So let me take you back to the start. I noticed a mole on my back. It appeared last year and I went to the doctors to get it checked, and it wasn't large, it wasn't different, it was just new. And I don't want to knock the NHS, because as we go on further I will tell you how amazing they've been, but it was originally like a little bit, they weren't really concerned, it was a little bit poo-pooed, and if I'm completely honest, I felt a bit silly. I felt a bit silly going, you know, and I was told there was nothing to worry about. Fast forward 6 months and the mole had changed quite dramatically. It still wasn't very large, but it had changed in a few ways. It had changed colour, so it wasn't the normal kind of browny shade of a mole. It had gone like dark brown, black. It was asymmetrical, the edges were a bit funny, and it didn't necessarily itch me, but I had noticed that I'd scratched it a few times, so it probably was a little itchy. And Matt was like, I really do not like the look of that. The boys were picking up on it. A couple of friends had made a comment. And so Matt was like, you need to go and get this checked. So when we got back off holiday in June, I went to the doctors. I went to my GP as soon as I got home, and she had a look at it. And again, to be honest, she didn't seem bothered by it to a certain extent. She actually offered to take it off in this surgery, but she said it was going to be a few weeks wait, so she said you might as well go for a medical photography. And in the UK that is the next stage. So what you do is you go to like the hospital, you get a referral, and they take pictures of the mole, and all they do with these pictures is they look closer at it. Like you just go to this room, they take photos with like a normal camera and they send them off. And so I went for this appointment. It was actually quite quick. I was referred within the 7 days. After the appointment, they told me that I would either hear back in a couple of days if it was urgent. Then I may hear back within 7 days if it needed to have further, if I needed anything further done. And then if not, either of those options, I would be discharged and it would go back to my GP and I would get a phone call or a letter from them. So that was where we left it. After 48 hours, I hadn't heard anything. So I was like, oh my gosh, fingers crossed that all is okay. And then about 3 days later, I did get a phone call from the hospital. They told me that I needed to go in for a biopsy, and they don't just take a part of the mole. You go in, it is a day surgery. They give you a local anaesthetic in the area and they take away the mole and also a parameter of it. I think it's 5 millimeters all the way around the mole and underneath it as well. So it was quite a hefty scar, I will leave a picture here of what it looked like, graphic warning. So the mole itself was, like I say, right on the parameters. It was just about big enough to be checked, and the excision, as you can see, was like, you know, a couple of inches long. And then that was the hardest bit then. The biopsy itself, to be honest, was nerve-wracking, but not as scary as I imagined. It wasn't, and the team in there were absolutely lovely, but the hardest part for me was the waiting. It was such an emotional roller coaster for me. Your mind goes into overdrive. Every day feels like a week. You know, so much goes through your mind. I was trying my hardest not to worry, because I was like, stop worrying about nothing. But then the other part of me was like, you know, like your mind goes to places like, am I going to die? Thinking about leaving the boys without a mum. That 5 weeks was so hard, and I tried not to, like I say, worry too much. I tried not to tell many people. I shared like little snippets on here. I shared little snippets with friends and family, but I didn't really let on how much I was worrying. I kind of suffered a little in silence with that, which I think, looking back, I kind of regret a little bit, because it was really, really hard, because it's just the unknown, you know, like, you don't know. And anyway, luckily after 4 weeks, just over 4 weeks, got a phone call from the team at my local hospital, and they said, we have your results, could you come in? And I think right then and there I knew it wasn't good, because they said, we need you to come in urgently, and can you bring someone with you? And it was a bank holiday, and I think I will always remember, because they rang me on the Friday, and because it was bank holiday, they couldn't get me until the Tuesday, and those like 4 days were like the longest 3-4 days of my life. Like, honestly, time just stood still, and I was like, oh my god, what news am I going to have? So come to the Tuesday morning, I went in, and they sat me down. I was the first one in, and they said, it's not good news. The biopsy has come back, and it is skin cancer. To hear those words, it's like a punch in the stomach. Like, I can't really begin to explain the feeling that you get when someone tells you that you have cancer, because it's kind of something you don't ever expect to hear. Like, I'm 37, I'm healthy, I'm young, I've always took care of myself. So yeah, it's a real wave of emotion. But basically then she said, there is good news and there is bad news. So the bad news is, it is melanoma. And I had obviously been researching the hell out of the potential outcomes, and I knew that melanoma was worst case scenario skin cancer. It is very dangerous. It can spread very quickly. It is deadly. And yeah, it was kind of like, at this point, I don't think it was really going in. But she said, there is good news. And I was like, oh my god, okay, please tell me what that good news is. And she said, the good news is that it is stage 0, or stage in situ. If you're not familiar with melanoma or skin cancer and you don't know what that means, stage 0 or stage in situ means that the cancer is on the top layer of skin. So the cancerous cells are in the top layer of your skin. and they haven't spread any deeper. So while the word melanoma is scary, trust me, catching it at stage 0 is actually the best possible outcome in terms of treatment, in terms of prognosis, in terms of everything. So melanoma, I would explain there are different stages. So as it doesn't actually matter how big the mole is on the surface of your skin, it matters how deep the mole goes. So stage 0 is on the top or in situ. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4 is how deep it goes within the skin. And there are also like sub-stages as well, like 1A, 1B, 2A. And as soon as it goes from stage 0 to stage 1, I would have had to go for lymph node biopsies, scans. I would have had to be under like a consultant, a cancer consultant, and it could have been so much worse. Like, I genuinely feel like I have dodged a bullet big time. As soon as it goes to stage 1, it can spread, and this is why melanoma is so dangerous, one of the most dangerous kinds of cancer, because it can just go to your lymph nodes, it can go to all of your organs, it can go all the way around the body, it can spread like wildfire, and it is a really hard one to treat once it has spread. So it is so important to catch it early. And like I say, as much as the news has hit me like a bus, it is the best case scenario of worst case scenario. That's what I keep telling myself. If I'm really honest, I have felt such a mix of emotions. Like, on one hand, I'm relieved that we've caught it early, but on the other hand, hearing the word cancer attached to you is quite a shock. It makes you think of things differently. It makes you think about life differently. It makes you anxious, and it's been very overwhelming at times. It's hard because you think about the people around you, and like, it's really been hard for me to tell my parents. I haven't wanted to hurt them, and me and Matt did sit down and we did make the decision to talk to the children about it. You know, they are 7 and 11, and Lucas is so advanced for a 7-year-old, and because obviously the prognosis is good, we have sat down and explained them, and it's given us a really good platform to explain cancer and, you know, give them some life lessons and make them aware, because now they will have to say, you know, their mum has had skin cancer, and be more careful in life. But it has been really hard having to tell family and friends and see the people you care about be so upset and worried for you. And like, obviously dealing with it myself is hard enough, but then having to share it with the people that you love is really, really difficult, and something I wouldn't wish on anybody. I wanted to make this video today because I wanted to send a message, and that was, please, please, please check your skin regularly. If something doesn't look right, don't ignore it, get it checked. I was really fortunate to hear the things to look out for. There's actually this criteria, A, B, C, D. I will leave it on the screen here. Things to look for in your moles. Also, if you are like a very moly person, I would suggest taking a photo and then like retaking a photo every couple of months or month or so. So you've got like a library and you can look for changes. The one thing that really stuck out for me is they explained it as the ugly duck syndrome, where if you look at your body, it's something that doesn't look right. It stands out a mile off. It doesn't look like the rest of them. And that was like what it was for me. Also, be persistent. If you feel like something isn't right on your body, get it checked. And if you feel like you're being dismissed, push for that referral, because you know your body better than anyone. And I know firsthand that I felt silly going back. I felt really silly going back to the doctors the second time, and I nearly put it off. And you know what? Going to the doctors that early and Matt pushing me to go saved my life. And I think that's why I'm just so overwhelmed, because I feel so incredibly lucky. I don't know why it has happened to me. Cancer does not discriminate. And I never thought in a million years that I would be the person sat there with the doctor telling me that I'd got cancer. Sorry. But if my story encourages even one of you to go and check a mole or get checked, then this video has done its job. I'm here to raise awareness, to say please check yourself. Skin cancer should never be underestimated. I am tremendously lucky. I've dodged a bullet, like I say, and it could have been so much worse. And oh my god, if I'd have left this, it doesn't even bear thinking about, to be quite honest. Like, the children would have not had a mom. Like, I am just so unbelievably lucky. And I just wanted to just raise the awareness of it. I want to say thank you to the NHS and the team, like Lucy, my surgeon, and all her team have been absolutely incredible. I couldn't thank them enough. So what is next for me now? So I actually then had to go back for surgery yesterday. I have had a further wide local excision on my back. So when you are diagnosed with skin cancer or melanoma, they go back in and they do what's called a wide local excision. And that takes even more of the skin away, and it goes down to the muscle, or as deep as they can go. And they take away all of the cancer cells that they can see. Again, it will go off for another biopsy, so I've got another few weeks wait. But to be honest, I think the hardest news has hit home. And then I also have had another excision. So I've had another excision on another mole on my body, on my belly. Here, you can actually see that, just a little one there. They saw another mole, and when you've had melanoma, they do not hang about. They took out anything that looked suspicious, anything that they were concerned about, they took away all yesterday. So hopefully they have got it all. They have got all the cancer, and from now, because I'm stage 0, hopefully if the biopsy and everything comes back clean and clear, I will be discharged, and obviously then just followed up in future just to make sure that I'm okay, because my risk will now be slightly higher having had skin cancer. But like I say, by the skin of my teeth, guys, I'm so lucky. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening to my story today. And if you've been through something similar, or you're going through something similar, like I am here, I'm with you, please drop it in the comments. Share your story. Hopefully there will be other people who will find comfort in that and know that you're not alone. And like I say, you never think that it's going to happen to you, but then it does, and you just realise how important life is and how grateful you should be every day. Like, and I'm just thinking of things so much differently now. Like, all the little things that used to bother me, like, I'm starting to just think, God, how silly, you know. Life shouldn't be taken for granted. And like I say, I just hope this video raises that awareness and yeah, please check your moles. Please, please, please check your moles. Check your body. Keep a track of things. Check your partner. Check your children. Moles can appear on children as they're growing up, but what I did yesterday when I got home is I took photos of all the boys' moles because they have moles, and yeah, they have gone into a library in my phone, and they will be, trust me, they will be monitored. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll keep you updated as I go through this journey because I don't want anybody to feel like they're alone. I've felt at times so alone just because I haven't wanted to worry people, and I know now looking back that I shouldn't have done that because my mental health has really suffered from that. And so yeah, I am here for you. If you need me, I am here. And sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.